Hello everyone, welcome back to the FM Dugout, and it's San Marino Dream Team episode 11. So our squad is complete, and as you can see, the Dugout team have become European champions in 2016 and also won the Confederations Cup a year later. They did get put out of the World Cup in the quarterfinals to Spain, who were the eventual winners, but my god, we nearly did a full clean sweep over the 4 years. I wasn't expecting that, I must say. Absolutely fantastic. So let's go and take a look at how it actually came about. So as you can see, they're now 5th in the world, and Manzaroli is still in charge. So maybe he is, I don't know, maybe an average manager, who knows. Anyway, next episode, if there is one, if you guys haven't won the World Cup, Manzaroli will be getting replaced. So I'm kind of hoping you haven't won the World Cup, because I would like to replace him and see what a difference it makes. So how exactly did Manzaroli and San Marino get to 5th in the world? Well, we know, because they won the European Championships and the Confederation Cup, but let's go back and take a quick look. So a great first year. Now, I'm not going to go through these results because they're there in the little montage at the start. If you want to see the details, look at that, because there's just so many wins and draws that I've had to put in. So yeah, the first year, 3 wins and a draw, 10 points out of 12. Then they slipped a little bit, so lost to England, lost to Lithuania, lost to Slovenia, drew against Switzerland, drew against Estonia. They only had 1 win there. But they finished best placed 3rd, which got them through without the playoffs. So that's why you're not seeing the playoff there. So into the European Championship year, look at that. I mean, 3 draws in the entire year. Absolutely fantastic. And I suppose the writing was on the wall when I saw things like drawing against Belgium and the win against Russia. I thought, maybe they can actually do this here. Good draw against Ireland there in the second round, so we didn't get any of the bigger teams. No offence, Ireland. Beat them 3-0. Then Croatia 2-0. Russia 2-1. France 2-1. in the final. So I mean, we can't really take a look, but it is there in the montage. So you look at it, really dramatic final, 82 and 88 minutes. So it wasn't easy, but they did it, and they did it with Ronaldo, and I think Messi actually missed out on it. I'm not sure. I think I remember seeing that he'd had an injury beforehand, and he wasn't included in the squad. So I think that was with 10 players that we managed to win it. Yeah, and then went into the World Cup qualifiers, and again, fantastic start there. 5 games, they had 1 draw, surprisingly against Cyprus at home, but they won all their other games, so that was a total of 13 out of 15, and they beat Italy in there as well, away from home. So excellent start to that. And then into the next year, they had the Confederations Cup, which we played Russia again, another win. Now they lost 3-1 to the USA, but interestingly enough, they reversed it when it really mattered in the final, and an absolutely fantastic win there against Germany. Lewandowski with 3 goals to put them to the sword, and then in the final against USA, yeah, pretty comfortable, 2-0 up, and USA pulled one back. So as you can see in here, there was no Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. They, I'm pretty sure, retired. I'll check afterwards, but I know they definitely didn't play in the World Cup. Back into the qualifiers, we had 3 wins and a heavy loss at home to Italy. Not sure what happened there, to be honest. Neuer had an absolute howler of a game. But yeah, so that put them top, which again really wasn't expecting to see. So they qualified for the World Cup. And then look at the friendlies here, because their coefficients, well, not their coefficients, their ranking had gone up. I think at the highest point it was 3rd in the world. They were now playing Sweden, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay as well, but certainly these teams, bigger teams in friendlies, as opposed to playing Andorra and Azerbaijan and so on. So it really shows the difference that it made, and I think that's one of the things that made it a lot better in this World Cup qualifier group. You can see they got Macedonia, Liechtenstein and Cyprus. So because their coefficients were higher, we missed having like 2 big teams. I know we had Austria and Italy, but Austria aren't really in the same bracket as the likes of Germany, France and so on. They're not first seeds. So anyway, into the World Cup, absolutely thumped Ecuador. Lewandowski with 2, Isco scoring there, then Lewandowski with 3 goals. But to be honest, I haven't even talked about Isco, because of how they've done in the European Championships and the World Cup. They got beaten by Croatia, but this goal from Lewandowski was actually the 2nd best goal in the tournament, apparently. We'll look at that in a second. And then a nice comfortable win against Colombia. And again, at this point, I was thinking, are we going to do it? But then Spain came along, and 2... I was going to say 2 late goals. It wasn't really a late goal. 15 minutes from time. But, you can't be too disheartened by that. I think it's not far off. Maybe having a slightly bigger squad. Maybe, if you look at that team there, you can see who was missing. Who was missing, actually? De Sciglio was there, Boateng, Neuer, Paul Pogba, Isco, Lewandowski. So it looks like we had Ronaldo missing and Messi missing, which meant that we had 2 players from there. And it looks like they played Hummels in midfield, perhaps. I don't know. It's a bit strange. And maybe Luke Shaw in midfield as well. I don't know. Don't know what formation Manzaroli was playing, but it's not far off, guys. It's not far off at all. As I say, Spain ended up winning it, so good on them. But we'll get them next time, maybe. Isco, you can see his stats have improved quite a bit from the start of it. He actually got Player of the Tournament, which was really good. Again, I went for Isco just because I thought it was a different choice. I have had sort of good experience with him in the games before, so figured why not just go for someone to play behind Lewandowski and potentially Messi, but obviously Messi retired for the World Cup. So anyway, let's go and take a quick look at the goal of the tournament second goal of the tournament for Lewandowski, and see how this looked. So this was, of course, the game they lost in the group stage to Croatia. Long ball from Neuer, missed, and then smack. Nice finish from Lewandowski. And he finished up with a golden boot. So I think it went really well, this run. But let's see how you guys got on with your selection. And this week the selection is Mario Götze. So we'll see how he's got on. Let's go.
Viewers versus the Dugout.
Well guys, it looks as though we'll be back for at least one more episode, as the viewers select was unable to win the World Cup, which obviously is our end goal. So let's go and take a look at how Götze got on. So again, another cracking player, similar position to Isco. So obviously, you guys have gone for similar sort of suggestions in terms of someone that can score goals from midfield, and we'll have a look at the player comparison at the end. So let's go and take a look. So 87th in the world, which I think it's an improvement from the last time round, is it? No, it's not. You were 78th the last time, so it's gone up marginally. Let's take a look at that schedule. So in 2014, what did we have? We had 2 losses, a draw and a win, so 4 points out of a possible 12. So a lot of damage done early on there, in terms of qualifying. And to call out, fairly heavy defeat against Switzerland. The loss against Lithuania is, not ideal. Then look at that, 4-0 win against England, fantastic, really great. But then 3 losses in a row. Losing to Estonia as well, but then pulled it back with 2 there and finishing 3rd and getting the playoff. So you guys made it through, and Norway, I think, was it Denmark or not? I can't remember who the Dugout actually played a couple of episodes ago in the playoff. They made it through to the Euros, and so next year you can see not the greatest preparation for it in terms of the friendlies. A heavy loss to Russia in the first game. There was a goal in the 89th minute which made it look worse. A draw against Turkey, which was pretty good. Unfortunately, a late goal. And then probably most disappointingly, this game here against Montenegro. I think if you had won that and drawn against Turkey, you probably would have been through. But he didn't make it through. He finished bottom with 1 point. So unfortunately, the viewers can't emulate the Dugout in terms of the European Championships. But it's the first episode where both teams have managed to make it through to that tournament. So as I say, I think another manager coming in could have an impact, quite a big impact. So let's take a look at how you got on with the World Cup qualifiers. So first 4 games there. 1 win and 3 losses. A heavy defeat away to Slovakia, which is pretty poor. And again, of course, Messi and that will probably have retired at this point. Well, certainly Ronaldo had. He always does. He always ditches us. So yeah, next year we had another 4 games. So it was one of the smaller groups actually. There was only 5 teams in it in total, so only 8 games to be played. And what do we have? We had a draw against Slovakia. So basically picked up 4 points out of a potential 24. So yeah, obviously we weren't going to qualify with that, and finished bottom. So the quest continues for World Cup glory, and yeah, no new players next episode. We're going to change the manager and see what happens there. I'm really tempted to boot out Ronaldo because I'm sick of having an 11-man squad for the first year or two, and then he just goes and does a runner. But I think I'll save that for what we bring in sort of episode 13 probably, if it goes that far. But we'll see what happens in terms of a manager. So that's how we've done as a whole. So let's go and see how Isco fared against Götze in our player comparison. So from a statistical point of view, what player did better this week? Well, if you're looking purely at the average rating, then it goes to Mario Götze with 7.63 compared to Isco's 7.58. However, when you look at the simulation as a whole, Isco was best player at the World Cup in 2018, so you kind of think, well, Isco maybe deserves it for all the glory that came in that simulation. And certainly, if you look at the number of goals scored by both players, Isco is 1 in 3 and Götze is just under 1 in 3. And certainly in terms of passes, it's kind of similar as well. The story there is sort of just under halfway. So, you know, very, very similar. 6 man of the match for each. I suppose you could say Götze only played 38 games and got 6, rather than Isco's 51 who got 6. So I think Götze maybe shades it this week for you guys. But in terms of how the teams have fared, Isco being added to the Dugout select seems to have had the bigger impact in terms of the success that they've had. Now, the one thing I will say is a lot of this comes down to luck, because I think that the viewers' team is more than capable. I mean, you could see the win against England in that simulation, 4-0. There's something there, right? And it's just going to take one episode for everything to come together to click, and you never know, you guys might win the World Cup. But we've added our 11 players now, so there's no more players for the next episode. So I need a manager from you. So make sure you leave a comment and let me know who you think would be best placed. Now, there are no rules around this. It can be whoever you want. It can be in any job, any nationality, whatever. It's up to you, and we can see how that works out next time round and see whether or not we can win the World Cup. But, as ever, before we go, we'll take a look at the rankings. So, what an episode it's been for the Dugout, from 46th in the world all the way up to 5th. Absolutely fantastic and very unexpected. The challenge for the Dugout will be to maintain that sort of ranking the next time round, because obviously they're not starting 5th in the world the next time we run the simulation. They'll go back to 209 again, so they've really got to pull it back in. Now, for the viewers this week, it sees a slight fall from 78 to 87, but as I say, there's definitely the foundations of a very good team there. Maybe the manager is the missing part that will make it all click, and we'll see a massive increase for the viewers in terms of the rankings next week, or next episode, sorry, rather. So it's over to you guys. Please leave your suggested manager in the comments box. Who do you think can guide these elite players to glory? So guys, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like and a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this episode, the series as a whole, and the episodes to come. How are we going to do with the change of manager? If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and come back for some more. And until the next time, I'll see you when I see you.